大家好，今天我们讨论编程语言。Oh wait, that's the wrong language, isn't it, for this tutorial? Well, today we'll be looking at programming languages. As you can tell, we need to be speaking the same language in order for us to understand each other. So you need to be able to speak the language that the computer can understand. And there are many languages, and we'll take a look at some of the more common and popular ones. Join me. 谢谢.
Welcome to MV Coding Camp. Build coding foundation by learning basic coding fundamentals using real code and hands-on exercises. Don't worry, what we'll cover applies to any programming language. Let's get started.
Episode 102, Programming Languages. Now, how do we talk to each other? Well, how about this? How do aliens talk to us? Do we know? Is there an alien language? I wonder. There was actually a 2016 movie called The Arrival. It's pretty scary. Amy Adams, who plays a linguist, would later go on to figure out what this language from the aliens mean. And she figures out later that they were there to eat the humans. I'm just kidding. So you see, we don't understand what that's all about. We're going to need to use a language that both of us understand. In coding, you are talking to the computer. For example, you'll be telling the computer to say hello 5 times. The computer receives the directions from you and says hello 5 times.
Hello, 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 hello.
Cool. But chances are you won't be typing the words say hello 5 times. You'll be writing code that essentially tells the computer to say hello 5 times. Now, this is what's happening when you're coding. You'll be using your keyboard and you'll be typing something up in code like this. Now, what you type in English will be changed into a language that the computer understands. You may hear people talk about ones and zeros. Now, once the computer understands what it needs to do, it will do what it needs to do. For in this case, it's going to say hello.
Hello.
Now, different programming languages are used for different projects. There may be a robotics project, there could be a web project, but everything will have its own language. For example, if you want to build an app to run on the iPhone, you're going to need a language. If you want to build a game, that would require another language. If you're building robots, that will be yet another one and another one for different things. You ask, there are just a few programming languages. No? As you can see, there are a lot of programming languages. Don't worry, we are going to cover the ones that have to do with the web and the ones that have to do with building apps. But before we go there, let's take a careful look at the difference between web and app programming languages. Now, we are familiar with something called Windows. This is the first thing you see when you power up your laptop or your desktop. Now, when you fire up your laptop or your desktop, you can start a program called a web browser. And a web browser will help you go to a specific website. Now, an app, on the other hand, could run on a Mac OS from Apple, or it could run on a Windows computer as well. Now, what you have instead of web browser is an application that you would install into your laptop or your desktop. Now, this will then have your application that you wrote. This is the same way mobile phones and apps work. Are you ready to get your mind blown? The web browser is an app. So technically, when you fire up or open a web browser, the web browser itself is an app. Haha. You ready for more? You can use an app inside a web browser. So here we have the operating system in black, and we have the blue, which is the web browser, which is an app. And inside a web browser, we can run another app. This app happens to help me track what I eat for my meals each day. Cool, huh? Well, I thought so. So there are a lot of programming languages, as we saw, but we're going to focus on just a few that are very popular. Specifically, we're going to talk about JavaScript, PHP, Python, C#, and Java. JavaScript. Now, JavaScript is in almost any website that you see today. From Amazon to eBay to Facebook, you almost always have to use some form of JavaScript. PHP. Now, PHP has been around for a long time. And if you have used Wikipedia, or maybe you have streamed video to your computer, like to watch someone play live, like Twitch, or maybe you use Facebook, that is all written in PHP, along with other programming languages. Now, Python is a really, really cool programming language. It's used for many things. So it can do something like a YouTube website, and it can do something like Facebook, of course, and devices like the Alexa or little robots. C#. C# is a programming language created by Microsoft, and it has a lot of use. One of the more popular use is the creating of games. I think I tried this before. Here, take a look at something that I created using C# and something called Unity. A language that is very similar to C# is called Java. And Java and C# are used a lot in what we call line of business apps, or LOB apps. These are apps that are used by hospitals, government, banks. So you can imagine this to be a very, very powerful and very useful programming language. Now, you are likely going to start with some particular language and then move on to learn other types of languages. For example, you may start with Python, or maybe JavaScript, C#, or even Java or PHP, and move on to learn more PHP, learn something called Node.js, React, Angular, jQuery, or even C++. And as you learn, you get to realize that the principles behind what you will learn in this course is always the same. In this course, we're going to use JavaScript in a lot of examples, but keep in mind that what you will learn applies to other languages as well. Let's recap. In coding, we use a programming language to talk to the computer. Different programming languages are used for different types of project. Awesome.
See you in the next episode. Bye.